Hi, Jesse's Angels. It's Jess Markowitz, your Independent Cincy Family Director. It has been a while since I have sent you a video, and I am so sorry for that. I have, the holidays and the crazy, wonderful rush of the holidays with our amazing business that we have that everybody wants a piece of as far as products or hosting to get it free and half off or to join and have all the benefits that we have. So then I just got back from Cancun, Mexico, which I think some of you guys have been following me on Facebook, and everything didn't turn out exactly the way that I wanted it because I got sick and it was hard to get there. But I wanted to talk to you guys about what I discovered with all of this, because today's the first day that I'm actually myself again, which yesterday I wasn't, and I think I just needed that last day of rest, because when you have the flu, your body just needs to shut down and rest and drink fluids and be a baby and let your husband pamper you like my husband always does anyways. But I got to really just sit and relax and really pay attention to my thoughts and what I experienced in Cancun. So I wanted to take the time to reflect on that, because I think the biggest message that I got was, how do I put this? It's really about your mind, about how you choose to view your circumstances. Because I could have, from Monday morning at 4:30 in the morning, when I arrived at the airport on time, we wanted to be there at 4:30. We got there at 4:32. It started it out great. We're like, okay, we're here. We don't have to rush. We got everything we needed. And I am going to be in Cancun, Mexico by 1:30, which is only 10:30 our time where I'm at. Wow, we've got so much exciting things to look forward to. Well, when we got in that line at United Airlines, we found out that our connecting flight was going to leave before we got there, because the flight that we were leaving was going to be delayed. So, the first thing we could have done was, what I could have thought was, oh my gosh, this sucks. Excuse my language, but that's probably what half of us would have said, right? Like, oh, why me? Well, instead, I choose to laugh it off, find out what the next situation was, and just move on. Because guess what? I didn't have control of anything. I couldn't make the plane move faster or get there faster. So I chose to just figure out what I did have control over. And what I had control over is my mindset of what I can pay attention to now and focus on and appreciate now. Well, guess what happened? When I was in line, sitting there for an hour and a half, waiting just to get up to the front for them to tell me if I was even going to leave that day and get to my destination, I happened to run into, along with our amazing superstar director, Callie Petticord, we started a conversation with the people behind us. Guess how? Which was so cool. Callie had this little monitor thingy that tells you how much your suitcase weighs. And if you travel a lot, this is a handy dandy little gadget that I am so picking up, because if you have over 50 pounds, then you have to pay for it. So I didn't want to be over 50 pounds. So we pulled it out, and it started a conversation with the people behind us. They're like, hey, can I borrow that? Guess where they're from? Australia. OMG, right? Australia, where we just launched. So I am obviously stoked just to tell you guys about this, because I finally have energy just to tell you, because I'm so excited in my mind, but my body was telling me oh my gosh. So now that my body and energy is able to say it, I am obviously through the roof of, I got a conversation and got to tell them about this huge opportunity that they have in their country. And guess what? The lady, her name's Divya, beautiful name, right? She knows all about direct sales. She's never done it before, but she was like, you know what? I felt like this is something I needed to do, and I just didn't know how to get into it. But wow, this was meant to be. And the funniest thing is that she and her husband probably had to pay about 4 times the amount of a ticket that they would have if they didn't miss their flight because they had to buy another flight. Wouldn't that make anybody just in a bad mood and beat yourself up and, oh my gosh, and this and that? No, she chose to say, oh my gosh, maybe this was meant to be for me to miss my flight. Isn't that amazing? I just thought that was great. And that's why I felt that I had to share that opportunity with her. So, of course, I had my handy dandy, lottery tickets with me, which was our drawing slips, got all her information, took as many notes as possible so I can remember every detail possible. So when I was able to speak with her via the email or Skype, I'd be able to trigger that conversation up again, because who knows how many people I was going to meet in Mexico, right? Anyways, did I happen to have, or was that on purpose? Definitely on purpose. I had a join packet right in my carry-on bag, because when you are traveling, you don't know who you're going to meet, what the circumstance is going to be, but the law of attraction, as Jen Western, our Monday night call, so if you didn't listen last night, get on that call. She spoke about how the law of attraction is the actions that you take is going to put out in the universe and bring those things back to you. So by me taking the action to make sure I had join packets on me, drawing slips on me, being prepared, my mindset put out in the universe that I am going to meet people on this trip to give this opportunity to. And bam, there she was right behind me in line going to Sydney, Australia. Isn't that amazing? Where else would I have found an opportunity to meet people that live in Australia? So fantastic. Anyways, so that is how the trip started. And we were able to help them. They didn't have a cell phone because they live in another country. It would cost them an arm and a leg in order to, speak on their cell phone. So I was able to help them get their tickets through the cell phone, talk to their family, whatever, which I felt so grateful for. And they were so grateful that I was generous enough to let them use my phone pretty much for about an hour, all, back and forth phone calls, whatever. So, you know what? They saw that I was a genuine person, that I really wanted to help. And it started that relationship. And so they want to work with me because they know, if she's able to help me, in need, obviously she's going to help me in my business. So these are things that people are going to pick up on and ask themselves, is this somebody I want in my life? Is this somebody I want to mentor me in my new adventure in this business if I choose to go about it? So these are all things that you really want to make sure you pay attention, because something as simple as starting a conversation in line just by a little gadget that you pull out, or just saying, wow, this is a long line, but you know what? I'm so glad I got to sit in line with such great people, and who knows where that conversation's going to go. Then we were off to San Francisco. San Francisco is actually where my family grew up. So, and my 49ers are in the playoffs. So I chose to look at it that way. Like, hey, let me pick up my 49ers shirt that I can't find in Vegas because they never have my size. Well, I got to be in the 49ers store in the airport, get my shirt because my 49ers are going to the freaking Super Bowl. Excuse my language again. I need to watch my mouth. I need to put a quarter inside my swearing, jar, because that's so not cool. Anyways, I got my shirt, and so I chose to say, hey, there was a reason I went to San Francisco. I needed to get a shirt from my 49ers in the Super Bowl. And yeah, it wasn't the best, that I had to stop and run and get food and travel. But guess what? I had the best traveling partner I could think of that had a great positive mind that we got to be silly with. And I'm sure you guys got to see our funny pictures. She helped me keep on track as my positive mindset as well. And then I was able to help her. Then we were off to Austin, Texas, where we sat, and unfortunately, that wasn't a very good little stop. We had to sleep on chairs, and, it was cold, but we got to meet a really funny guy that happened to have a really good personality too, and we all got to tease each other and say, how cold we were and how miserable we were, but then we got to do it in a very positive, fun atmosphere. So once we got to Austin, then we were off to Houston, Texas, which was our last stop before we headed to Mexico. Yeah, that was a lot of traveling, right? But in the meantime, I got to learn so many things that I need to travel with the next time that I go on a trip. So I chose to make it as a learning experience. So because I travel a lot now with Sensi, which all of you I hope will be able to join me on these amazing adventures. And I got to make a little list in my phone and say, hey, this is what I need to travel with next time, which I never would have learned if I didn't go through this adventure and this challenge that I know was put upon me for a purpose. Then finally, we got to Mexico the next day, around 3 o'clock, I think, their time, which is about 1 o'clock my time, Pacific Standard. And I was tired. I was hungry. I wasn't feeling good. But guess what? I got welcomed with a glass of really sweet something. I don't know what it was. It wasn't alcoholic, but it was blue and it was different and it was sweet, so it put me in a good mood. And as soon as I walked into this beautiful resort, I saw a gorgeous, probably about 18-foot Christmas tree that they were just tearing down, but I got to take a picture of it. And so I realized how the way you view life is so going to determine the outcome of your day and your future and your life. So the fact that I trained my brain to notice all the positive sides of life and what I was experiencing, I was enjoying myself. So everybody knows I went on to, it was raining there. It wasn't sunny. I had planned to be on the beach and reading books and doing things I don't get to normally do, and planning the rest of my 2014 and even planning some trainings for all of you on the beach in a bathing suit. It didn't go that way, but I got to experience things that I never would have experienced. What we all noticed at leadership, all of our other leaders that were there, is that we all got to get to know each other better because none of us were on the beach. We were all inside the hotel. So we ran into people we would have never ran into and got to have conversations we would have never had conversations about, with. I got to chat with Heidi Thompson for a while, who is just sweet as, can be, which we all know. And, these are all opportunities that would have never happened if it was sunny outside because we would have all scattered like roaches to the sun and went on the beach and went on excursions and went crazy, just having fun in Mexico. But what we got to do was truly get to know each other and learn from each other. And although Callie and I had the flu and we were miserable, her and I got to know each other in ways that we would have never got to know each other. We got up close and personal real fast because we're both sick, and so we kind of cling to each other. But, when we had the party, which we all got to dress up like our favorite celebrities, and I did Marilyn Monroe because she's just classy and wonderful and fun. I wasn't the best looking Marilyn Monroe, but I didn't care. It was fun. God gave me the energy to have fun and dance. And yes, it probably wasn't something I should have done. I should have been in bed, but I didn't want to miss an opportunity. So I pushed myself and went and pretended like I wasn't feeling bad. And I pushed myself through it. And I'm so glad I did because we just had a blast. And Sensi definitely knows how to party. So if you definitely, I say, if I can suggest anything, is to goal yourself to be on an Sensi family trip. If you didn't earn it this year, that should be your goal, to earn it this coming August. And goal yourself to be a director and above, because that is when the journey truly starts, because you get to see things and experience things that, you don't get to before you become a director, because, they share with us things that they want the people that we know are going to be sticking around, not just being a consultant for the next 6 months and leaving. Once you become a director, you're in it to win it. You're all in. So they're going to share with you things that you're never going to be shared with as a consultant. So not that consultants aren't valuable, but it's just you get to see things that it's just a different light. And one thing I told Callie on the way here is that I Well, let me hold that thought real quick to be continued.